Hello everyone, it's Jeff again, and today I am in Zillah, Washington, and I want to tell you a little story about a gas station that I can distinctly remember in elementary and junior high stopping and getting gas at in a little town, and it has quite a story, and I'm going to tell you that story right now. My story begins in 1922. A young man named Jack Ainsworth came up with the idea of a giant teapot one night in 1922 while he and some friends were drinking moonshine, playing cards, and talking politics. You see, Jack's father owned a country store next door, and they had talked about building a gas station. And while talking politics and discussing how awful a recent scandal was with the President of the United States, young Jack decided that he would build the gas station in the shape of a teapot. Very early in the 20th century, it was known that there was large deposits of oil in Wyoming near a point that had a rock formation known as Teapot Rock. Early in the 20th century, the U.S. Navy largely obtained fuel oil by converting coal. To ensure the Navy would always have enough fuel, President Taft designated several oil-producing areas as naval reserves. In 1921, President Harding issued an executive order to transfer control of the Teapot Dome oil field in Wyoming and the Elk Hills and the Buena Vista oil fields in Kern County, California, from the Navy Department to the Department of Interior. This was not implemented until the following year, when Secretary Fall persuaded Navy Secretary Edwin C. Denby to implement the order. Later in 1922, Secretary Fall leased oil production rights at the Teapot Dome oil field to Harry S. Sinclair of Mammoth Oil, a subsidiary of Sinclair Oil Corporation. He also leased the Elk Hills Reserve to the Pan American Petroleum and Transport Company. Both leases were issued without competitive bidding. This was legal under the Mineral Leasing Act of 1920. Secretary Fall received gifts from the two oil companies totaling $404,000. The Albuquerque Tribune ran a story on the fact that Secretary Fall had suddenly become very affluent and had paid his taxes back, that he had been in arrears for over 10 years, and they wanted to know where his sudden affluence had come from. Although there was several people involved, it was Secretary Fall who ultimately took the blame for the scandal. He only had to serve a short prison term, but he basically never held public office again, and he lost his Tula Rosa ranch in New Mexico that he loved very much. The scandal probably would have taken down President Harding also, had he not have suffered a heart attack and died. Because of oil shortages in 1976, the field was finally put back into production after 49 years. In 39 years of production, they had made $569 million from 22 million barrels of oil produced. In February of 2015, the government sold the depleted oil field for $45 million to the New York-based Standard Oil Resource Corporation. When I was growing up, the little gas station was there, and you used to pass it on the highway. It was built as a joke to poke fun at the fact that the Sinclair Oil Corporation had been involved in a massive oil scandal. The gas station had a wood-burning stove inside, and the spout was the exhaust, and the tiny ball at the top blinked at night as a beacon. And when we studied about the Teapot Dome scandal in school, we went to the little gas station on a field trip. And this is what it looked like circa 1973. And this is what it looks like today, recently restored and now a museum. A relic of a time when you could voice a political opinion without a gun and by building a gas station in the shape of a teapot. In Zillow, Washington, this is Jeff, and I will see you on another adventure. Remember, everyone, be good to each other, do good deeds, think good thoughts, and I will see you again.